Today's video is filled with sweetness. You're going to get 6 ideas for easy, delicious, and budget-friendly treats. All of them except for one are no bake, so let's head to the kitchen and get going. We are going to start off with this 3-ingredient peanut butter fudge. So I'm starting with a jar of peanut butter, some icing, and some sprinkles. The recipe cards that I'm providing for you free will have specific measurements for you. I'm making large batches for this video, so just know that you'll get a smaller batch recipe in the description box down below. So I like to start by taking my peanut butter and putting it in a mixing bowl. Then you want to take your icing, make sure to remove that foil liner, and you want to pop it in the microwave. I usually go about 20 seconds, pull it out, stir it, stick it back in there. You want the icing to be pretty liquefied to where when you put a spoon in it, it kind of just very steadily drips off that spoon. Once you get that consistency, you just want to mix that icing in with the peanut butter. You want to stir it, use your KitchenAid mixer if you have one of those, however you want to mix it up, and just continue stirring till it's all incorporated. Once the fudge batter is ready to go, you want to grab yourself a cookie sheet and line it with some wax paper. Now, I did want to share, if you want to make a big batch of this, I did use a 64-ounce jar of peanut butter, and I ended up using 4 things of icing, which gave me 2 full cookie sheets for this fudge. So when you look at the recipe card, like I said, it's a more realistic portion, but I did want to share this big batch measurement in case you were looking for that. I'm going to take this batter and spread it evenly between 2 pans, just spreading it out into a nice even layer as possible. Then I'm going to take some of these Christmas sprinkles that I have and put them all over the fudge batter. Now these will kind of roll around a little bit, so I do like to take my silicone spatula and just give them a very gentle tap to kind of help them adhere to that fudge batter. Then I'm going to leave mine out at room temperature just on the counter about 2 hours to set up. If you need this to go a little faster, you can definitely put it in the refrigerator and chill it in there until it is set. Once they are all set, I find using a pizza cutter is the easiest way to cut this up, and I literally just go through and cut it in half, cut those 2 parts in half, and continue cutting things in half, going both lengthwise and widthwise of my pan until I get the size of fudge that I want. Now, on one of them, I did cut it, but I wanted to drizzle chocolate. If you love Reese's peanut butter cups, then you definitely want to try this. I just melted some Ghirardelli milk chocolate chips. I put them in a Ziploc bag. I just snipped the little end, and then I just kind of, all across it, just back and forth, both directions. And then, of course, you're going to want to let that set up as well. It is delicious with the chocolate. It is delicious without the chocolate. Up next, Christmas kitchen sink cookies. These are so delicious, and you only need 4 main ingredients: sugar cookie mix, chocolate chips, Oreo cookies, and Jimmy's sprinkles. You want to start by making your sugar cookie dough. So I am using these packets to make it easy. The only other additional ingredients I need for these are eggs as well as softened butter. Again, I'm doing a bulk batch here, so I ended up doing 4 sugar cookie packets for this recipe. Once you get that sugar cookie dough all mixed together and it looks like sugar cookie dough, it's time to add chocolate chips. So you're going to pour your chocolate chips in there. Again, I'm using milk chocolate Ghirardelli chips, but you certainly could use semi-sweet and whatever brand that you want. Then you want to add Oreo cookies. You are going to want to crush your Oreo cookies, but don't pulverize them. You want some nice chunks of the cookies to come out in these cookies when you bite into them. So just kind of give it a gentle tap to get those broken up and mix those Oreo cookies in. Then it's time to add sprinkles. I do recommend getting the Jimmy sprinkles. They're a little bit bigger, and that's just because when you bite into that cookie, you'll really see the color inside the cookies, and they won't get lost inside of the cookie. You're going to bake these on a cookie sheet that's either lined with parchment paper or silpat in an oven 375 degrees for about 6 to 8 minutes until they get a little golden brown around the edges, and then you've got yourself a kitchen sink Christmas cookie. Before we move off of this cookie, let me show you how you can turn it into a cute gift. Grab yourself a mason jar, start with the sugar cookie mix, and you want to pour that into the bottom of the jar, making sure to tap it and really getting that cookie dough mix settled out. Next, take your chocolate chips and pour those in. Give it a gentle tap on the tabletop. Same with the Oreo cookies. Put those in there. And again, give it a gentle tap. Now, the fun surprise of this is you're going to add all the sprinkles at the very, very top, pack it in, and it's kind of like a little surprise because when you put the mason jar lid on, you can't actually see the sprinkles in the glass portion. So when you open that lid, it's an explosion of red, green, and white sprinkles. To finish it off, take a piece of fabric that you've cut in a circle, attach it to the top of the lid. You can use a little tack of hot glue if you'd like. Tie it off with a ribbon and attach the cute little recipe card that you can grab down below in the description box. Texas firecrackers are next. You'll need a variety of crackers, oyster crackers, Cheez-Its, pretzels, rice and corn cereal. Steak seasoning is the secret ingredient here, butter, Worcestershire, and some Tabasco. The first thing you want to do is make your seasoning sauce mixture. Start with some butter and a microwave safe bowl. You want to melt your butter down. Again, I'm making a big batch here, so that's why there's so much butter. And you want to melt the butter completely. Then it's time to add your seasonings. Now, you might have heard of Alabama firecrackers. Well, these are Texas firecrackers because we use steak seasoning. So that's the seasoning I chose. I didn't need any extra garlic powder or salt because it's all in this state seasoning mix. Then Worcestershire, as well as some Tabasco to taste. I don't use a ton of Tabasco, but I do like to have that little kick, and you just want to mix it up really, really good. Here's my secret tool when making a big batch of some type of trail mix or mix like this. It's a Home Depot bucket with a lid. So I simply just pour all of my crackers inside of the bucket, and then I gently just turn the bucket. I don't shake it hard because I don't want to crush up all my crackers. And then what I do is I take it out in batches in a bowl, and I can control how much sauce I pour on there. You want to pour enough on there to that everything gets a little bit damp, but it's not soaking wet. Once all of this is coated, I do opt to put mine in the oven low and slow. So I do 250 on a parchment lined cookie sheet, and I stir at about 8 minutes, and then another 5 minutes, give it a stir, and that's about it, just to where the crackers are getting nice and toasty brown. And then this is ready to be bagged up, and it is absolutely delicious. For the peppermint bark, you want white chocolate, dark chocolate, peppermints or candy canes. Peppermint extract is optional. If you choose to use the melting bark or melting wafers, you are definitely going to want that peppermint extract. Start with the microwave safe bowl and melt your dark chocolate down by adding a little bit of coconut oil, sticking it in the microwave, and stirring very frequently so that that chocolate doesn't burn. Once it's all melted, you want to spread it out on a parchment-lined cookie sheet until you have a nice even layer. Then take your white chocolate, add again some coconut oil, and stick it in the microwave, melt it down. Once that's melted, bring it out, and if you want to add peppermint extract, you want to add it right then. Stir it in, and you're going to add your white chocolate once your dark chocolate has started to firm up. You don't want it completely firm. You don't want it super liquidy. You just want it set a little bit before you try to spread that white chocolate on top. If you do it too soon, that white chocolate will start getting smushed into the dark chocolate, which is fine. You'll just end up with a swirled peppermint bark. Totally fine. Then once the white chocolate is all spread, take those candy canes or crushed up mints and sprinkle those all over. I also like to finish it off with some clear sugar crystals to just give it a little extra sparkle, and then let that set up until it's nice and firm. In taking my pizza cutter, I'm going to cut it in half again until I get my bite-sized pieces, and then the peppermint bark is ready to go. The orange balls will need sweetened coconut flakes, some vanilla wafers, powdered sugar, orange juice concentrate, make sure it's pulp free, some butter, and a little bit of vanilla extract. You want to start by taking your vanilla wafers and chopping them up in your food processor. You can either do it really fine or you can leave it a little bit more chunky, which is what we typically do. Once those are all chopped up, put them in a bowl and add in your powdered sugar. Give that a nice mix, and then you want to add your softened butter. Continue to mix that up, and the last step will be to add your orange juice concentrate. Now you don't want it frozen, you want it softened so that it's easy to work with, and you want to blend in that concentrate, and it's optional to add a little bit of vanilla extract at this point. Mix it up good. We typically will stick it in the fridge to let it chill a little bit and firm up. Once that is done, pull it out of the fridge, and then all you need to do is make it into little balls and roll it in that coconut flake, and then set it on some wax paper. We like to keep ours chilled and just find the taste is really delicious that way. Grab some mixed nuts, dark brown sugar, vanilla extract, cinnamon, and you also need butter, even though it's not pictured here. Start by taking your butter, melting it in the microwave, add your cinnamon, vanilla extract, and sugar to that, mix it up, and then put it in a saucepan. You want to cook it down till it's nice and bubbly and all that sugar has melted and broken down. You definitely could do all of this in the pot if you prefer to do that. I just have always done it this way. Once it's all bubbly brown and you're good to go, stir in your mixed nuts, make sure they're nice and coated, and then pour it out on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Let it set up, and it is so delicious. You get that little bit of salty and that little bit of sweet. When it comes to packaging, I love these cellophane self-sealing cookie bags, they're called. I get them in a huge variety pack on Amazon. Again, everything will be linked down below that I could possibly think of from today's video. And they're great just kind of separating out the salty, the sweets, maybe the messy, whatever you want to package up. And another fun thing that you can do is if you order the printed wax paper sheets, the 12 by 12, again, I order a huge variety pack on Amazon. Here's a fun way to put snacks, cookies, what have you in it. Simply take your wax sheet. You want to fold it corner to corner so that you end up with a triangle. Then have the point at the top and simply fold up one side until it reaches the opposite edge. Fold up the other side, and then the very top, if you fold that down, you've made a little pocket where you can slip things in there. I usually will add a sticker just to kind of hold that flap down, or if you want to close it, what have you, but that's another little way that you can wrap up some treats. And then I'm going to pull all these together in this pack of tins that I got again on Amazon. And here is your free gift. This little printable recipe book that you can put together has all the recipes from today's treats. I left a little space at the top so you could do a really cute a little bow. It's got the little menu along with all the recipes. You can grab this down below in the description box. That's going to wrap up today's baking video. Let me know down below which one of these treats you have tried, or maybe you make your own variation. Also, let me know, do you want this video become an annual tradition? So next year I bring you some new treats. I would love for you to comment down below easy treats that you make, because I'm always looking for new recipes and I might be reaching out to grab some recipes from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.